Gran Turismo is out in theaters right now, guys, and I gotta tell you this, that I like this film. Now, is it one of the better films of the year? If you are a gearhead, I think it will be, but I gotta say, when I came out of this, I was like really pleasantly surprised. Gran Turismo, based on a true story. Yeah, based on the unbelievable, inspiring true story of a team of underdogs, a struggling work-class gamer. Basically, they get recruited to be real-life drivers, guys, for Gran Turismo. Now, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes, and you will feel that 2 hours and 15 minutes a couple times in the movie. So, does it have some pacing issues? Most definitely. Does it have some storylines in there that could be chopped out, like a love story? Yeah, but you watch this because of Archie Madekwe playing the lead role there. He's the gamer kid that gets recruited. And David Harbour. He's like the pit crew master, the trainer that is like, oh, these guys can't race. But this is the best work that I've seen from David Harbour since like Stranger Things season 4. So I would say, hey, if you liked his acting in Stranger Things season 4, this is on par with that, because there's a couple of scenes in here where he talks about like his background in racing and stuff like that. And it's just really oddly relatable. It's kind of like, oh, I see your point of view, because that's how good David Harbour is at his performance in conveying all that emotion. Now, this is from Neil Blomkamp, the director of District 9. He has a background in visual effects. So you know that the racing parts are going to be filmed spectacularly, and they really pop off the big screen. I saw this in the AVX theater, guys, and I gotta say, it's well worth it if you can pay that extra money to see this on the big screen, because when they start racing and they start going around the track, it's just like, they spent their money filming these cars, and the sound design is phenomenal. But as I said, it still has some story issues in there. It's a little bit long. This should have been like maybe an hour 45, hour 50 minutes, and I think it would have been a little bit tighter. But you're on board because of the characters. There is a father-son dynamic, not between David Harbour and the main character, but between Jaimin Hansu and the main character here. Kind of like the father is like just trying to get him doing something productive other than playing video games, right? So he underestimates him in his abilities to drive. But man, it's a good compliment to when the driving stuff happens. You're like, wow, that's cool. But you care about the character, right? You care about his motivations. You totally understand where he's coming from. And what's really cool about this is it's based on the true story. So the guy who really did all this driving stuff, he was part of this movie. He was part of the stunt driving team for this. So that was cool. And yeah, as you can see here, the visual effects here, this is Neil Blomkamp's touch, adding in all those like transition shots of like the car coming around him and stuff like that. And surprisingly, oddly enough, Orlando Bloom in this also was fairly good. Yeah, he's the guy, the marketing guy from Nissan, who's kind of like, I got this idea. How can we make some money here? And he comes up with this, but he's got some other scenes in there where he's like coaching. You can see in his eyes, he cares about this team. He cares about this project, and that stuff really pays off for Gran Turismo. And Jerry Halliwell, Spice Girl, is the mother of the character. And if you're worried about her acting, sorry, it's not Jerry Halliwell anymore, it's Jerry Horner. It was just kind of a curious little pop-up. I was like, okay, she did pretty good. So did Jaimin Hansu, actually. But as I said, there's a few story issues in there. Thomas Kretschmann, he was the boat captain in King Kong, Peter Jackson's King Kong. Yeah, you recognize him too. So, guys, overall, I would have to say that Gran Turismo is worth looking at. Let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people are saying. 61% by critics, 99% by the audience. So by early Thursday night previews, people coming out of this, they are liking Gran Turismo. And I can't disagree with them. I'm glad that the runtime isn't being too much of an issue for them. Let's go down to the comments here and see what people are saying. Let's see some of the snapshot reviews from Newsday. Pastiche of sports movie cliches. Oh, okay, yeah. There are some cliches in here. We know that he's not necessarily going to win the big race, but we know that he's going to have a victory of some kind towards the end. I mean, if you call that cliche, yeah. But the revved up pacing scenes will keep you hooked, indeed. Minneapolis Star Tribune says, what Gran Turismo lacks in elegance or credibility makes up for in style and excitement. Fascinating. So, yeah, Boston Globe didn't like it. The film's visual look is as inert as its screenplay. No, man, I thought the visual look was fantastic. In its attempt to make the real racing scenes look like Gran Turismo gameplay by overlaying the game's graphics with live footage fail embarrassingly flat. No, I thought that's tapping into the people who played the game by like doing that, like how they show you where the racer is, like his that little flag that comes up over you and says you're now position 6, position 5. And it's like that kind of stuff. I thought that all that was fantastic. And you felt like the urgency in the pit there when certain things happened, when things started to go bad for them. You're rooting for them. And when in my screening, at least, people were cheering in the final race. It was like you could feel that intensity, and Neil Blomkamp did a good job of translating that over to the big screen. Let's take a look at somebody else who also didn't like it. Whatever dramatic potential the movie has, mostly courtesy of its performances, ends up being stamped out by filmmaking instincts best described as anti-cinematic. What? Racing has rarely looked this boring. So somebody didn't like the cinematography. I don't know about that. But where would I rank Gran Turismo? It's not a 9 out of 9, guys, and it's not a 6.1. It is a little bit better than that. I think that if I were going to rank Gran Turismo, let me see if I can pull that up now, guys. Hopefully this works nicely for me. Yes. All right. So let's just fix that. And if I have to edit this out later or edit it later, perhaps I will. Maybe I'll chop it out later. Why not? Yeah. All right. This is a work in progress, this sheet. Okay. So acting. Acting had a couple of good performances in it. So I more than multiple, because as I said, Archie Madekwe, David Harbour, even Jaimin Hansu in the few scenes that he had were good. And Orlando Bloom was surprisingly good. So I will give acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points each. So I'll give that 2 points right there. Yeah. Directing, as I said, there were some story issues, so I got a docket at least 0.5 for that. But overall, I thought that it was pretty interesting. Story, yeah, some love interest story that could have been cut out. Some parts of the pacing, I think, could have been tightened up about, just trying to round out the characters a little bit. But overall, yeah, for the first bevy there, acting, directing, and story, that's 5 out of 10 right there. Cinematically, cinema and score are out of a possible 1 point each. I would have to give cinematography a full point because it's that good. Now the score, this is going to be where if I give it just a serviceable thing, people will be like, ah. But you know what? They used a track from the Heat movie. If you watched Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, they use a number from that soundtrack, but they use it differently in this, and it kind of worked because I think Moby originally did that song. I would give that a full point as well too. Not a half a point, James, full point. Yeah. So what is that? We're already up to 7. Wow, isn't that interesting? Watchability factor. I would say you would have to at least watch it once. Do you need to own it? No, so it's not 2 points, so it's not going to be a 9 out of 10. But is it something that you would want to watch twice? Guys, it's a good first watch. I could easily give this an 8.5. Easily. But I'm not going to. 8 out of 10 for Gran Turismo sounds perfect for me. That's where I'm thinking. 8 out of 10 for Gran Turismo, guys. That's what I feel about it. What did you guys think? Did you see it? Are you going to go see it? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains. What else can you find here on the channel? Well, we do a lot of gaming stuff, so go over to Twitch, and we do Final Fantasy VII. We play Street Fighter 6. Yeah, so come watch us for that. Gran Turismo review will be up on the channel here later on today, and we've done movie reviews for To Catch a Killer, trailer reactions for Rebel Moon, Ahsoka series, episode 1 and 2 full watch-alongs are up on the channel right now as well. That's cool. And it's full, as well as Heart of Stone, Gal Gadot from Netflix. Hey, if you like this kind of stuff, come join us here on Mirror Domains, and I'll see you here hopefully next time. All right. That was cool. That score sheet is a work in progress. I'll get that refined.